before we get into my true art layer at home, which is the best place to work because you can just go right to bed after, this is my other place where I work, at the gallery. And so here is a glimpse of some of the different kinds of projects and different kind of artworks that I engage in. There's a whole different variety, and there's a lot more kinds of ones than this, but here's just a sample. So I'll start with this, the simplest, quickest. Spin art. I've got a spin art machine. This is kind of when I deal with chaos. If I'm doing something abstract, it's most likely going to be dealt with chaos, and I'll try to think of something to go over it. This is just the first layer, but just maybe throwing paint on, just seeing what happens. Me and a couple friends were experimenting, and so this is the quickest of all artworks, which takes maybe 5, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, depending on how you want to do it. Then there's always having something in prep. This is kind of the prep for my spinning mandala animation, the process of doing that. And so I always grid it out. I have an idea for a Save Earth spinning mandala, and so when these get in your head, you're just constantly thinking about them. So I always kind of have one of these ready, a template ready. So when the idea strikes to animate something, I can just go right in on and do it. And I usually do smaller ones, that one's just big. These are ideas for logos. I got saveearth.us, so I want to try and think of a logo, either a mandala. I've got all kinds of different ideas, but this is just one of the glimpses, so I'll spend some time just kind of sketching out different ideas and see which elements take. That's always kind of going in there. I store that little spot. This is one of the more just kind of surreal little things. So this will take like weeks or months. This one's actually been going for like 10 months or something, but it's because I've been neglecting it a little bit. But this is just kind of a free form idea that I sketched out and then just kind of have been adding to whenever I get time to just kind of mess around. It's just one of those ones that's got some meaning. It's going to look really cool when it's done, but it's not a top priority, so it just kind of sits in the back. And you know, it'll be cool when it comes out, but it's not like something that I want to like get done like immediately and dedicate so much time to. So it just kind of comes and goes, and it's good to have a few of those where you can just, when your mind's not focused on one or you're stumped on one, you can just bang, go to another. Canvas. This one is going to be for the pangolins. So this intention is to help the animal, the pangolin, and help raise awareness for them. I'm thinking stop mangling the pangolin, or something else, save the pangolin, save Earth, save the pangolin, just know the pangolin, kind of. So I made a really cool pangolin with the pangolin sun. This will get painted maybe today and then just kind of keep going for about a week. That one won't take long. Then occasionally I'll do things like this. If I have an idea that's lasted for years, I have a book. So I'll be working on the computer sometimes. I don't like working on the computer too much, but it's worth it when you end up manifesting a really amazing book in the end. And so this is one thing that I'm going to try and push out. You know, I haven't really sold many. I haven't really found a way without putting it on one of the big corporate monsters. I want to do it myself, so it takes some time, but it'll come. The book, awesome. It's online for free now. It's not as good as the first. Then there's acrylic paintings. I'm not really the best acrylic painter, but I like doing it. It's more therapeutic than when I do the hand-drawing ink. That's more focused, more detailed, more exact, more rewarding for me mentally and just overall. But I love the free-form flow of painting. Something about that is just kind of, it's like being at the ocean, like being at the water. So these I occasionally do. This was a time-lapse, so I took a picture every couple minutes. This was just an idea. It took about a day, 2, maybe 3 days. And sometimes it'll take more on the paintings. I'll do a little more and spend more time, but this was just a really cool kind of random idea that happened with some cool intentions of a man earning his wings, getting to the top, earning his wings from the angel. So keep it spiritual, keep it metaphysical, imaginative. This one was an ink one that was similar to that a little bit. One of the kind of ideas that I have, but this one happened after I moved out of my parents moved out of their house that I grew up in. So I drew basically me and Erin getting taken away to the land beyond the poles, Mount Meru, and just saying goodbye to this other stuff. And you know, like the calling occupants of interplanetary craft idea. But so this is a cool, this one has some good meaning, also mixed with surrealism and mixed with just kind of free form ideas, but also had a little bit more reason to get done than one of the other ones that just kind of lingered. And then there's ones like this. And there's a lot more different kinds of arts too, like the special mandala. I didn't get into that yet, the magic mandalas, but this one is the arc. So this is the other top of the line end of the creative spectrum. Whereas this takes 10 minutes, this took about 9.5 months. And some days were like 10, 15, up to 20 hours a day for the last 2 weeks of this. It was intense. So much research. This one had required more research than most of my other ones. but just in order to find the right animal for the right spot, make sure I didn't use it already, and all different kind of things. And the intentions were this, to get it in schools everywhere. So just the ultimate animal education art, purest intentions, help the future, help the animals. Boom. Full intention to less intention, more experimental, abstract to really detailed, realistic to so realistic, magical to not magical, technical, like in the animated mandala, to logo, kind of free-form, thought-provoking. And some ideas, you know, there's also different ideas that may kind of, sometimes most of these ideas are for me, for my own personal benefit and exploration and art, adventure, mind, and creativity, power, just fueling it. But sometimes you need to do things to make money. So sometimes I'll something will come in the current events or something, and I'll talk to someone, and it'll be a good opportunity, so I'll go for that, and then some of these will take the back burner. But keep them all going at the same time. Whenever you're stumped on one, go right to another. You'll never be stumped. Have a lot of things going at once, it's fine, and then dedicate the focus. Sometimes go a week, slam this one out. A month, slam that one out. Then spread yourself around. Kind of just vary it up, balance it, make it work, get creative, try all different kinds of things, but stay in your zone and just perfect what you want, what feels best for you.